Why do the things that hurt us feel so good, and the things that help us feel so hard? Why is junk food addictive while healthy food feels like work? Why is scrolling effortless but studying feels impossible? Why is staying in bed so comfortable, yet working out feels like torture? It almost seems like our brain is wired in the wrong direction, rewarding the bad and resisting the good. But the truth is, your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what evolution designed it to do. The problem is that your biology is ancient, and the world you live in today is very, very new. Humans constantly act against their own long-term good. We want to be fit, but we choose comfort. We want success, but we procrastinate. We want health, but we choose habits that destroy it. This isn't because we're weak or lazy or flawed. It's because our brains are still following survival rules written tens of thousands of years ago. Rules built for a world of danger, scarcity, and unpredictability. And when those old survival programs meet modern temptations, we get this strange contradiction. We love what harms us and dislike what heals us. To understand why, we have to look deep into how the brain actually works. Let's start with dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. It's not. Dopamine is the wanting chemical, the chemical of desire, anticipation, and motivation. Its original purpose was simple: push you toward things that kept you alive. In the ancient world, dopamine rewarded things like finding fruit, spotting water, discovering shelter, forming bonds, and surviving danger. These rewards were rare, and because they were rare, dopamine evolved to be powerful. It had to drive you to get up and chase after anything that meant energy or survival. But modern life completely hacks this system. Today you can get dopamine instantly from sugar, processed foods, endless scrolling, entertainment, comfort, and constant novelty. Your brain still thinks dopamine equals survival. It can't tell the difference between a berry found in the wild and a candy bar in a wrapper. It can't tell the difference between meaningful social connection and an endless feed of quick images. So it pushes you toward the easiest, fastest reward, even if that reward harms you. That's why the bad things feel so good. They hijack an ancient reward system that wasn't built for modern life. But what about the other side? Why do good habits feel so uncomfortable? Healthy habits like exercise, studying, deep work, cooking healthy meals, sleeping early, or practicing discipline all have one thing in common. They require effort without giving an immediate reward. Your brain hates that. Why? Because in the ancient world, unnecessary effort was dangerous. It burned energy you might not be able to replace. It exposed you to risks, predators, weather, exhaustion, and uncertainty. So your brain evolved a rule: avoid unnecessary effort, conserve energy, seek comfort, stay safe. That's why exercise feels like pain before it feels like progress. That's why studying feels mentally heavy before it becomes interesting. Good habits help your future self, but your brain cares much more about keeping you safe right now. Your biology is built to prioritize the present, not the future. The comfort zone is not psychological, it's biological. The moment you do something uncertain, uncomfortable, or challenging, your brain's fear center, the amygdala, becomes active. It whispers, "Don't do that, stay safe. Stay still." Thousands of years ago, leaving the familiar could cost you your life. Exploring new territory meant danger. Taking risks meant exposure. Today, that same survival response triggers when you try to go to the gym, start a new project, or break a bad habit. Your brain rewards comfort because, for most of human history, comfort meant survival. But in the modern world, comfort can be the very thing that holds you back. This entire problem is known as an evolutionary mismatch. Our ancestors lived in a world where food was scarce. Danger was everywhere. Physical labor was constant. Stimulation was limited and life was unpredictable. We live in a world with unlimited calories, unlimited entertainment, unlimited comfort, and unlimited distraction. But our brains didn't update. They're running Stone Age software on modern hardware. We crave the things our ancestors needed in rare amounts, but today we get them in unlimited amounts. That's why modern life feels mentally exhausting, even though physically it's easier than ever. Another part of this puzzle is the war inside your head. You have two brains in one body. The first is the primitive brain, the limbic system. It's emotional, instinctive, and reward-driven. It wants comfort, sugar, pleasure, and instant gratification. The second is the modern brain, the prefrontal cortex. It's responsible for discipline, logic, and long-term thinking. When you say, "Tomorrow I'll wake up early and work out," that's your modern brain speaking. But when tomorrow arrives and you hit snooze, that's your primitive brain taking over. The primitive brain is older, stronger, and faster. It's designed to protect you. But it often protects you from the very things that would improve your life. There are some major misconceptions about all of this. One is the idea that liking bad habits means you're weak. Not true. You like them because your biology evolved to love easy energy and quick comfort. Another misconception is thinking good habits should feel good right away. They don't. Your brain needs time to form new reward pathways. Another belief is that disciplined people are somehow genetically different. They're not. They just design their environment so good habits are easier to do and bad habits are harder. The final misconception is believing your brain hates change. It doesn't hate change. It hates uncertain change. Once your brain knows that a new habit is safe and predictable, it starts to accept it. So how do you reverse this pattern? How do you train your brain to like what's good for you and dislike what's bad? The first step is resetting your reward system. This means reducing extreme stimulation, less junk food, less constant scrolling, less instant entertainment. Even a 24-hour break can make simple, healthy activities feel rewarding again. The second step is making good habits easier. Your brain loves convenience, so use that. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Keep healthy food ready. Start reading with the book already open. Work in a clean, distraction-free space. When the good habit is convenient, your brain naturally chooses it. The third step is making bad habits harder. Your brain hates inconvenience. Use that too. Keep junk food out of your house. Silence your phone during important tasks. Remove apps that hijack your attention. Charge your phone away from your bed. When the bad habit becomes inconvenient, your brain stops craving it as much. Here's a fun fact. Your brain releases dopamine not only from rewards, but also from expecting rewards. If you imagine the benefits of a healthy habit, the energy, the confidence, the long-term improvement, your brain starts motivating you before you even begin. Expectation alone can change your behavior. So why do we like what's bad for us and hate what's good for us? Because we're humans with ancient survival systems living in a world that overstimulates, overfeeds, and overwhelms those systems. Your brain isn't broken. It's outdated, but you can update the way you use it. You can reset your reward system. You can redesign your environment. You can train your primitive brain to work with your goals instead of against them. Once you understand your biology, you stop fighting yourself and start building the life you actually want. You're not broken. You're simply evolving.